All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight for candle gazing workshop. I'm trying to keep it kind of dark in here, so that's why you can kind of barely see me. Maybe I should change my background, actually. Let me do that real quick, because that's a little bright. Okay. So yeah, this isn't like, an official like class or anything on candle gazing, but I wanted to show you guys some things that have helped me along the way, and different ways you can use candle gazing to, benefit you in your practice, like with your, spiritual growth and your psychic development practice and all of that. It's a great tool. But not only that, it's such a great tool for like our mental health, to calm our bodies, to calm our minds. For anybody that has an issue with meditating, quieting the mind, this is an amazing tool. I have actually had a lot of success with it, using it. I have ADD in like a bad way. And this was like one of the only first ways I was really able to focus to teach myself how to meditate. So this is like, it's training, meditation training. We could call this. But not only that, right? Because you can get really into candle gazing and you can use it, like, we're going to get in all the different ways, but you can use it for like magic and manifesting. You can use it for, what was I just going to say? Oh, for getting in touch with your intuition. It's a really good way to, like, because once we quiet that mind, then you can hear, right? Then you make space for your intuition or your guides or whoever you're working with to come in, and you'll be able to sense and feel it. I am super excited, Amy, to see how you do with this, because I know this is something you've struggled with, and I feel like this is going to be really helpful for you. So I'm very excited. Let me just make sure I got all my talking points here. Quiet mind and the body. What's that?
I said I'm excited to see if it works for me.
Yes, awesome. Settling our nervous system. That's the other thing that it does. So because it quiets our mind and our body, once we are focused on that one thing, and there is something about the flame that just settles your whole nervous system. You'll start breathing into it. You'll see. I'm actually going to have you guys like check in with yourselves before we start, and then we'll talk after we finish. And then you can notice the difference in what you're feeling before and after. Hear your intuition, your guides, manifesting helps anxiety. Yeah, so there's just so many benefits to candle gazing. Plus you can use it magically. So it's pretty awesome. All right. So is everybody okay if I call in everybody's guides to assist you during the practice? If anybody's not.
I am, if you can get a hold of them.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
You guys hear me?
Mine don't answer me, so maybe they'll answer you.
They're there. We just have to work on getting you sensitive enough to feel it.
I know.
That's so I feel like this is going to help you in a big way, Amy. I'm actually really excited. Okay, so I'm going to assume everybody's okay with it. I didn't hear any no's. And for anybody that's watching along later, just know, like, the intention with this meditation, you can do it at any time. Your guides will still come in at any time if you're doing this, a month from now or tonight or whatever. It's all about your intention. So I'm actually going to play some music. Can you guys hear that?
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. So I am just going to mute everyone for when we start, just so we can keep it quiet. And then after we're finished with the meditation, we will talk about what's going on. All right. So now's the time to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, right? You might just want to jot it down on your paper. And you can either do like a rating system, or, if you're feeling anxiety, how anxious are you? Like, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, just so you can really measure the differences here at the end. And then I want you guys to set an intention for this meditation today. And this could be anything from, communicating with my higher self, getting advice. It could be like you want to ask your guides for, advice in a situation that's going on in your life, or you want to get answers from your intuition, or you want to meet your guides, or you want to connect with your intuition. Whatever your intention is absolutely perfect. So just take a minute to write down that intention, because there is power behind writing it. And I'm just going to take a minute to call in everybody's guides now. So thank you, Spirit, for being here. I just want to call in everyone's guides who is here tonight. You know what each of us needs and how we need it. Please help us to get the answers that we seek. We are also grateful for your love and support and patience with us as we grow. And then just feel that gratitude. Feel that gratitude you have for your guides who have been with you since the day that you were born, keeping you out of trouble as much as they could anyway. Sometimes our free will wins. But just let them feel that gratitude you have for them. And just thanking them. And even though we might not feel you yet, we know and believe you are here. And thank you for your help with this exercise tonight. Now I want you guys to light your candle. So I just have a little chime candle on a plate here. Okay, hold on. So when I can't get them to stand up, here's a little trick somebody taught me. I'll show you. So when you light the candle, oh, look, it all got blurry. Let me turn that off. Don't mind my bedroom. I'm moving, so everything's a mess. Okay. So when you light your candle, if it doesn't stand flat, just drip a little bit of wax on your plate. I have a piece of tin foil there, but just one drop and then it'll stick. You just put it right in the wax. So after you light your candle, just make sure you are in a comfortable position. You can stay for a few minutes. Make your room as dark as possible. And I want you to just start. Excuse me, I'm just going to mute myself because I have to cough. Okay, so just start by softening your gaze. Just gazing directly into the flame. Taking deep, full breaths. While your awareness stays on the flame, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Trying to make that out breath twice as long as the in breath. Trying to notice the space in between breaths. Try to drop into that a minute. Then I want you to just notice now, as you're gazing at this candle, you'll start to see almost like an aura around it when you start to shift into a different state of awareness. Okay. So just gazing at that candle now. And when you start to see that aura, just checking in with your body, noticing how your energy starts to settle. Maybe feeling or listening for your heartbeat. Notice what it feels like to be in your space. How does your energy feel inside your body? And then start to explore how it feels outside of your body, all while remaining the focus on the flame. And guys, if you do get distracted, that's totally normal. It's to be expected. Don't judge yourself negatively. If you do, just bring the focus right back and you can get right back into it. So the way I feel energy, I'm just going to explain just in case, because I didn't realize what I was feeling for a while. But so notice almost like it almost feels like a heartbeat, but it goes in like a rhythm, like it goes, bum, bum, bum. And then you'll notice if you actually tune into your heartbeat, they're not the same. See if you can find the difference now. You might notice too, when you start to shift states, your ears might start ringing. That's totally normal. Just being mindful that you're allowing yourself to relax more and more. Really almost like becoming one with this energy of this candle. You might notice the candle flame might start to move with your breath. And see if you notice that your mind is less noisy than it normally is. So I want you to just bring that intention to mind. And if you didn't have an intention that you could get advice around, then bring a question to mind, something that you would like advice from your intuition or from your spirit guides. And just send out that thought. This is what I would like to know. Or what do I need to know right now? You could ask that if you're not sure. And then I want you to just let that go, let that intention go, almost seeing it float away into this light of spirit. And then I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And we're just going to sit and gaze at the candle and wait for answers. This is where you might start feeling things come in. After you ask your question too, really tuning into the flame of that candle, some people will see images within the flame. Some people will feel like the candle is almost speaking to them. Some people might get it, in their mind. But just be aware of everything that you're sensing here. All of your 5 senses and the 6th sense. So anything you smell, taste, feel, hear, or just know. If you get distracted, that's fine. Just bring your focus back. If your candle flickers or, makes any popping sounds, see what you feel like that means to you based on what you asked. If you're struggling, quieting your mind while you're gazing at the candle, try also focusing on your breath. So you're looking at the candle, but you're feeling your breath because you want to be in that feeling state. See if you can feel your breath or your heartbeat while you're gazing at the candle. And maybe you don't get a message. Maybe the message comes later. Maybe it comes within the next couple of days. So even if you're not getting any messages, what feelings are you getting? Did you feel a shift in the energy? Because even just noticing that shift is amazing. What's going to happen at some point too is, our egos are going to resist, right? We're going to start getting fidgety and we're going to start getting antsy. And that's just our ego trying to take control back. They need to be in charge. They need to be the center, front and center. So what you can do instead of pushing that away is just say, it's okay. We're safe. We're okay. Just a couple more minutes. And it'll get easier each time. One more minute, guys. You're amazing. You're doing awesome. Okay. So now you can take your focus off the candle. Sure, you'll need to blink a few times. You're going to be seeing a bright red candle like outline everywhere you look. But go ahead and blow the candle out for now. And if you guys can unmute yourselves, what did you think of that? Did you notice any differences, or what did you notice? Was it easier to do it that way rather than just meditating? Tell me all of the things that you noticed.
Oh my God, I was blown away.
Yes.
So
Amazing.
I was looking looking through through the flame, you
Yeah.
know. And I have a like a little votive cup, so it's a like a votive candle,
Yeah.
and I could see off the reflection of the back, and I was seeing like little slivers of my son and my daughter-in-law. It would go back and forth. And
Yeah.
I could see them talking and actually moving their heads and talking at the table and happy and laughing.
Yes. In the flame or in your mind?
In through the flame. I don't
Yes.
know if it was with the reflection or not, but there's like just little slivers. And I was trying to really focus, but I clearly saw my son's face and my daughter-in-law's face.
That's
And
incredible.
and they were like moving and turning their heads and laughing and
Yes.
just like talking and having a conversation over the table.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Becca, that's incredible. So you should definitely keep doing this.
Yes, I'm going to.
Yeah. Because you'll be really good at, like, there's all different types of scrying. I would start looking into that if you haven't already, but that is amazing and so impressive. And I'm not surprised.
Oh my God, that was so weird. Wow.
That was really cool. Were you able to get any messages or anything like that? Could you feel the shift in energy?
I really didn't feel anything so much, but just the fact that I was able to see that just freaked me
Right.
out. Like, wow.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, thank you for having this. That was awesome.
Oh, of course. We're going to try one more exercise after everybody shares. This one will be shorter. And this one will be for like manifesting. So I'm just going to show you how to use candle gazing for magic.
Awesome.
All right. Who's next? How about you, Jackie?
Well, mine's a little different than obviously like that, 'cause I didn't see any images. I did see like the aura like you were talking about, but mine was popping up off the flames, so it's like a greenish blue type of color.
Very cool.
But as soon as I lit the candle, obviously I don't usually have an issue with meditation. I can get it, go to where I need to go. But I also experienced like the outer body parts of it.
Yes.
So for me, it was, I don't want to say painful, because
Okay.
I could feel it being drawn from my like my neck and my spine where it usually comes from.
Right.
But I totally zoned out watching it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just like I was feeling like all the energies that are inside the house that are not of flesh and blood.
Yeah. You could definitely be feeling all of the energies of us too. 'Cause we're all in this meditation together.
So you remember how when it was when I did the pendulum that one time and I was telling you I could just feel the energy being drawn?
Yes.
That's what it was. It was like I could feel all of it, and it hurts. It hurts so bad right now.
Yeah, you do. You feel really intensely. So were you able to, like, was it too uncomfortable for you? If it's ever uncomfortable, you can just stop. Like, did you?
No, I mean it's that's normally how it is for me though.
Okay.
Because like when I meditate, like I said, I because of my beliefs in like the shamanism and stuff and going to the different planes, that's what I experience.
Right.
So
Okay.
I had never done like any type of scrying work or anything like that. I mean, I watch my candle and stuff at night when I go to sleep because I don't sleep without a candle on just because of all the things that I do here.
Right. Right.
So for me, it keeps it. I don't want to say it keeps everything in bay.
Yeah, it's like your protection.
Yeah. So I mean, watching it that intensely, it's just like, holy cow, you
And you
know?
were feeling all of the work it was doing, like the drawing of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So where my level of anxiety was like a 3, maybe 4 beforehand. Now it's like really intensified now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Jackie.
No, it's fine because it's something that I need to be able to understand how to control. And I think because I've been doing like the sigil work with my circle,
Yeah,
maybe that's what I need to do in this situation.
that's a good idea. I would say whatever your intuition is telling you right now, absolutely. What was your intention for the practice?
Basically just to the same thing I do for my sigil work, to have my simpleness and my trust in my gift to continue to grow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you think that there's any way part of that energy might have been like your energy growing?
Yeah, most definitely. And
Yeah.
that's what I think makes my body hurt more, because it's like
That's
I can't
yes.
control it. Yeah.
Yes. That's because that's how I feel it in my stomach. You feel it in your gut like that, like in
It
your
actually
plexus
hits me
area?
like in the very back part of my neck and goes down my spine where my spirit comes out of me when I do my outer bodies.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Very cool, Jackie. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sorry it got uncomfortable for you.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I mean, it's part of my growth and being able to control that. And that's something that I've talked to Alex about, trying to learn to harness it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I'll keep my ear out too. If I hear of anything that might be good for that, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, love. Amy, how about you? Dying to see how this was for you.
You're gonna be disappointed.
I will never be disappointed in a million years.
About halfway through, I had to blow my candle out because it was making me nauseous.
You're kidding. Wow.
So I had to no. And it's like one of my favorite scents. So
Okay.
I just
So
like I'm laying here right now like I have yeah, it was a scented candle. And
I
now I
should have
feel like
said that. I'm so
gonna vomit.
sorry. Yeah. Unscented next time if you want to try it, but
That's
don't.
all I had.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Um, I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned not to sit that close to a scented candle. Are you okay? Have some water?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. No, I'm okay. It wasn't pleasant, so I got rid of the candle.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I didn't get rid of
absolutely.
it, but I moved
Yeah.
it away from me.
If you want to try the next one we're going to do, it's going to be less time and you could always put it like across the room. Maybe that would work if you want. But if you're going to get sick, then don't. See whatever you think.
Right. No,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Thank you, Amy. And
I'll
I'm sorry.
unscented candles and try it on my own another time. It's
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. And
That's okay. I'm fine.
if you want me to guide you through it when you get an unscented, let me know and we can do that.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome, love. Okay, Hannah, how was it for you?
Okay, but I'm gonna pop off now. So
Okay.
I'll see you guys next time.
All right, Amy, feel better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It'll let me.
Well, I did okay, I guess. I don't know. My first candle didn't stay lit.
Really?
So,
What was your intention?
well, I think it didn't stay lit because it was actually a sealing wax, and I didn't know that they weren't like designed to burn like a candle.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then I got a white candle and burned that one, and that one worked just fine.
Okay, perfect.
My intention was for the candle to light my path.
Oh, I love that. And did you feel anything when you were like,
Yeah, I felt like, whenever you were like, make sure, like, not make sure, but like, be aware, like if the candle flickers or makes a noise, it might have any a message for you. Remember that part?
Yeah.
And at that point, my candle hadn't flickered at all. And I was like, oh, I'm good. My candle's not flickering. I don't have to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
But then it started flickering. And the message that I was trying to send me is the light is always on my path, even when there's bumps in the road.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That is absolutely beautiful.
So
I love it. And were
the
you able
interesting thing, the interesting thing about this exercise for me is before I found divination, I had a online mentor and it was a guy, which is not usually recommended. I don't recommend it.
Right.
Because sometimes it can get weird. And he was from a witchy chat something,
Okay.
I witches or something on Facebook. And he had posted something about meditation. And I had commented like, I cannot do meditation at all.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me and started asking questions about what I was like, my practice and stuff, like what type of witch I was, which I still don't know the answer to that question. But anyhow,
That is a
but
loaded question. I
told
understand that.
he told me to candle gaze.
Yeah.
Like, and this was before I found divination. So this was before I had any crystals or anything like that. And I was scared to death of it because I guess maybe I was still too traumatized religiously because he was talking about, spirit guides. And I was like, this all sounds like demons to me.
Right. Right.
I don't know how to explain it. So I was really scared of it. So then whenever I saw your class, I was like, I'm gonna just take it and see what it's like.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. Well, I'm so glad.
Because like he basically stopped being my mentor because I wouldn't even try.
That's so crazy. I can't believe
Which I
that.
understand because that's his form of magic. And if I'm not going to try to learn his form of magic, I kind of got it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I get it. And he was never inappropriate, which happens sometimes with those types of situations. But he was from England,
Yeah.
and
Oh, nice.
he did candle gazing in the woods in Europe, and
Wow.
he built
Amazing.
special
Yes.
pentagram shaped things to put the candle on. I'll
Wow.
have to go way back through my mess. I was really just as I was listening to Amy and Becca and other people's feedback, I was looking through my messages to see. I don't think he blocked me. I don't think that's what happened. I just think we just stopped talking because he said, hey,
Right.
if you're not going to try to, which I get it. Like, this is
Yeah.
what you do for, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he wasn't charging me or anything. And normally he charged people to be his apprentice.
Oh, that's awesome though. Well, that's nice. Well, now you
I
can
was
tell
so
him you
brand
do
new
it.
to everything. I just didn't know. I was really scared still.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
still scared. That's still why I don't take classes because I'm scared of my own power.
Yeah, that's so common. That is so common. How old are you, Hannah, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 42.
So I feel like at this point, from what I've seen anyway, like this is when people really, really start to like find their power, right? Like you have to go through all the lessons and they're never fun or easy in the first half of life. And then the second half of life, we get to come into ourselves more. We've
This is
already,
also when people figure out who they are
yeah,
because
definitely.
they don't really care about who other people think they are anymore.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Hannah,
You'll get it a little at a time.
I was really scared too at first. And well, because I used that C word that rhymes with purse a while back on my husband and his brother to get arrested because they went out to drink and I needed him to stay home and help me with the kids,
Yeah.
So I just said that just out of the blue,
Yeah.
and they got arrested in the parking lot before even driving off. And
Oh
then
my gosh.
the next day, me and my 3 kids woke up with chicken pox.
Oh my gosh.
So I swore against anything like that. And it freaked me out for a long time. And then I just finally decided, you know what? I need to really learn how to harness and control those powers. And that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid of the size of your power and how much power you have, but you have to learn how to control it. And that's why I finally opened up. Is that like kind of what you're going through, Hannah?
Oh, we might have lost her. Whoops.
Oh,
I'm not sure. We might have lost her.
I hope
Um,
not.
Me too.
I was just
But-
trying to share my experience to maybe help her, you know.
Yeah, I know. I think that that's really helpful actually, because she does seem like she's in the same shoes you are. Maybe you guys could talk like outside of here and get into that, like how you feel after you've done it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally felt that, you know, power of three, or the what you send out comes back times three.
Oh
Plus
yeah.
one for his
Wow.
brother, maybe, because I had 3 kids and then I got chicken pox too. So
Right?
it's just
Right?
crazy.
That is wild. That was quick, Becca.
I swear. I'm like, nope, 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 not doing it, not using that word anymore.
Right. Hannah, were you able to hear what Becca was saying? Do we have you back now?
I heard most of it. Like it cut, like, and it does that sometimes. My son had a emergency. We didn't have any toilet paper in the upstairs bathroom, so I had to walk down the stairs and walk back upstairs. And I don't know why, but in this house when I do that, I guess because I have one of those little Wi-Fi extenders in my bedroom upstairs,
Yeah.
and I think it's connecting and disconnecting from that thing when I go up and down the stairs. But I heard most of it. I did hear that, she, sent bad
C-word.
juju towards her, basically husband and brother-in-law, and then they got arrested, but then her and her kids got chickenpox.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
what
I 100. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say about the 3 times 3 thing. I don't believe it is that. I believe that the amount of things come back to you depends on the amount of intent and energy you put into it. That's what I'm gonna say. I believe.
Well, I can tell you I was pretty pissed off when I did it. But anyway, but
I mean, it comes back. It definitely comes back. And what I'm saying is sometimes you'll put 1/10 of the energy in, but you're going to get 10/10 of energy back. Does that make sense? But then if
right.
you put 10/10 of energy and you're going to get 100/10 of energy back, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't feel like it's
It does.
a designated 3 times 3, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. But that's what I was telling Danielle, and I was trying to tell you, is that's why it was the same thing with me. So I was afraid. I was afraid of my power. I was afraid of it. And that's why I just decided that I just wanted to be able to know how to harness that power and control what I have and explore more of what I have. And that's why I'm so glad you're here, because that's exactly kind of what I was going through,
Well, for me, I had the situation where I could hear, and I still can. I can hear the gods audibly, right? Or the guides, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But because of being raised in Christianity, until I left the cult that I was raised in, I was taught that those were demonic voices inside my head.
Mhm.
And I spent 5 years, from 5 to 10, trying to cast them out of me. And if you've ever seen The Exorcist or anything like that, I promise regular Christian exorcisms are not any nicer than those things that they do to people in the Catholic Church.
I'm so sorry.
So when I was 10, I figured out how to block the voices out so that they wouldn't bother me, so that I wouldn't keep being tortured, basically.
Yeah.
And then I haven't tried to really listen to them until I found magic again, which was 37. So I didn't hear them for 27 years. They're
So,
there.
Hannah, there might be some trauma around opening yourself up too. So if you ever want to do any work privately, let me know.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped going to your classes, not to be whatever, but it was so emotional for me.
Yeah. I can
I
totally.
couldn't handle the exercises. Every time you did them, I just would sob uncontrollably for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, Hannah.
All of this, all of this trauma that you're storing in your body, it's got to come out some way. And I feel like, that's the easiest exit for this energy, right? Is like through crying. But definitely I think privately would be better. If you want to do that, I would be open to it.
Yeah, because I didn't want to bring this traumatic energy into the class. If that makes any sense.
My gosh, we're all a soul family here. Don't ever feel like that.
Well, that's how I felt.
Hannah,
I talked to Amy about this actually a while back, and she was like, you should talk to Danielle, but you're so busy and I'm so busy. I don't like to like bother you.
Oh, don't
I
ever
thought-
feel to bother.
I know you and Alex say that all the time. Don't ever feel that way, but I do be feeling that way.
I
Hey,
know.
Hannah, I'm gonna tell you something, sweetie. I don't think it's bad energy at all. I think what you're experiencing is an emotion that needs to be released. And I'm gonna tell you that straight from the get-go, because when I took Danielle's class on the trauma, I cried like a baby. I did. I just cried and cried and cried. And that was probably the first time I'd ever experienced my magic actually coming to light the way I needed it to come. So if you cry, honey, cry it out. Just cry it all out.
Because those
it's going
blocks
to
are
release
removed.
you. It's gonna remove everything that you needed to remove, so that light of yours will shine. And
Yeah,
it already
make room.
shines. You just have to see it from within going out, if that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. Like so when I was born, my mother, who was a very strict Christian lady who had converted to Christianity from Catholicism, so you can imagine that background being combined together.
Right.
But she's told me many times before my parents actually disowned me in 2020 when my oldest child passed away, which now I'm thankful for that, because I don't have to listen to them talk about how evil I am because I'm practicing witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah.
so I'm kind of thankful for that part. But before that, she used to tell this story about when I was born, that a orb of light came into the room from the moment I was born until the moment they took me to the nursery.
Yeah.
She described it as a golden ball.
Wow.
Now that same ball used to talk to me. That's what they tried to take away from me.
Oh my gosh, what do you feel like it was?
It's my guide. It's
It's a
Aphrodite.
spirit guide. Yep.
It's Aphrodite. I know my spirit guide is Aphrodite. Like, I spent 20 years as a sex worker. I don't know if all of you knew that or not, but I did, which
Yeah.
is why I was so drawn to the academy.
Yeah.
So, and I know that my spirit guide is Aphrodite. She's been talking to me since I was a baby,
Oh, that's amazing.
and, I at one point thought I was the reincarnation of Aphrodite, and I haven't strayed away from that. I just know that I'm very closely entwined with love and teaching people how love can heal them.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
But yeah, so yeah, I taught, it was a presence that was with me from a young age, and I talked to the main one frequently all the time. Now there's other smaller ones. That's how I describe them, smaller forms of energy that will come around from time to time and speak to me. But I think it's because they know I can hear them.
Absolutely.
Not because they're necessarily mine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Your light is so bright that it attracts,
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's the thing of it is like for from a young age, even the Christian people could see my light. They just thought it was Jesus's light. It's not Jesus's light. It's Hannah's light. You guys are being disrespectful. They try to tell me that I'm being sacrilegious when I say that. And I was like, nah, y'all are being sacrilegious to me.
Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry.
But it's not sacrilegious to believe in myself.
Right.
And to believe in my power that I have.
I'm so how empowering was that to stand up to those people and say that and step in your power? Like, wow, that must have been an amazing moment.
Yeah, because I had these people Jehovah's Witness come knock on my door. And I'm always polite. I'm never rude to them. I'm never like, oh, I don't worship Jesus Christ. I never do that. So I listen to them about, their little, hi, we're from this church. And if you ever want, and I'm like, thank you so much for coming by to talk to me today, but I'm not interested. I'm pagan. The main lady, the secondary lady doesn't really say anything. She's just not paying no attention. The first lady, she just keeps going, well, you can always go on our website. It's on that little piece of paper I gave you, blah, blah, blah. I said, ma'am, pagan means I worship other gods besides Jesus Christ. Just, real matter of fact. The first lady, she kept her face under control. But the secondary lady, when I said that, I swear it looked like she saw a demon.
Oh my gosh. Probably because of what she's been
That happens
taught,
if I move
right?
into this house.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. She looked like she swallowed a whole lemon real quick.
That's really funny.
And then they're like, oh, well, thank you so much for opening your door then. And I was like, hey, this is what I believe. I do believe this. I believe all paths lead to peace. So your path is peace for you and my path is peace for me. And I don't disrespect your path. However,
Right.
it is not mine.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
So
Um,
it's hard with Christians. Some Christians, it's really hard with them.
yeah, definitely.
And I'm definitely losing friends. I'm definitely losing friends the more into my practice that I get.
Well, they're not the ones meant for you. If you're losing friends becoming who you are, then they're
They really weren't my friend in the first place.
right. And they have to leave to make room for the people that were meant for you.
Exactly. And, it's a lot of fear associated with witchcraft. Because like one of my best friends, I'm not going to say he's Christian at all. He sells things that he shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never seen him in church or anything like that. And he came to help me pack up my stuff this last Tuesday at one of the local places. And he was like, does that sign really say build your own spell kit $10? And I said, yes. He's like, you mean they let you bring witchcraft in here? I was like, brother, what do you think that is in my office? It's like, I didn't think it was all witchcraft. I don't want to come in your house no more. I said,
Oh my gosh. That's just,
I said, well, brother, I love you regardless, but there's nothing in my house that would ever harm you unless you tried to harm me.
right.
Because that's really how everything in my house is.
Yeah.
But sorry, guys, didn't mean monopolize my time. Who else do we have? It's not my turn
No,
anymore.
I'm sorry you're going through all that. I really am. And thank you for sharing all of it with us. I appreciate that. Who else wants to share how that experience was for them? I think we have Honey or Khaleesi. Did I say that right? I'm sorry.
I'll go.
Okay.
I've done water scrying before,
Nice.
and so my intention was, where are my notes? So my intention was to learn whatever I need, even if I don't know what it means yet. So after I seen the aura around the candle and the flame, both, the flame turned kind of rainbow color, kind of like it was pulsing up and down.
That is so cool.
I thought so too. So, and the 10 minutes went so fast, it only felt like 2 minutes. When you said, okay, we have about a minute left, I was like, what? It's barely been a minute.
Isn't that funny? I'm so glad you said that. So once we get into that state, time is just different, right? Like, because right here on Earth, right, time and space are just an illusion, right? So when we get into that meditative state where we're raising our consciousness, or our consciousness comes out of our body and we're connecting to something bigger, time will go like exactly how you're explaining it. I'm just going to say time will go fast, time will go slow, but 10 minutes will feel like 2. That's amazing. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. So yeah, I actually feel that way a lot of times too. I'm a big music person. I've said this before, I think, but whenever I listen to music, I completely lose track of time, and it's like I've listened to like 4 or 5 songs, and it's barely felt like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
music gets you to that place. That's amazing. So now you know that if you're ever like in a place where you're trying to settle yourself, music is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So cool.
Might I recommend the Coffee House on Sirius XM? I love that station.
Ooh, I'm gonna check that out too.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm always looking for different types of music to try. I mostly listen to country and Japanese rock and metal.
Oh, no way. That's so cool. I like country too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I for some reason find it, a lot of people don't, either they I don't know how to say this. Either you don't know they like country because they don't talk about their music, or a lot of people just don't like country, and I don't know why.
Yeah, they've never even heard a song before and they just say that they hate it.
Right.
I've noticed that myself.
Yeah.
That's funny. Is there anything else you wanted to share about your experience?
Yeah, I've had so in the flame saw like a person running, the darting from left and right, and as it went on, for some reason like a forest popped into my head.
Nice.
And when I noticed myself thinking about a forest, the flame turned yellow and green, but more yellow.
Oh, that's amazing. So what did that mean to you?
I honestly have no idea.
That's okay.
It
Think
was
about
so
it. It
different.
might come to you in the next couple days.
Yeah.
But that's incredible. Like think about how it would fit with your intention or I don't know, like what does it mean going into a forest? Like were you running to the forest, running into, running away from? Think of all the
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And when you were saying when you're like coming into that space, you can feel a shift. I didn't necessarily feel it coming in, but I felt it coming out.
Yes, that's awesome.
So, thank
Very
you.
cool.
I really like this class, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I love doing this kind of stuff. Were you able to feel, I'm just curious, were you able to
Mhm.
feel like the energy that was around you?
A little bit, but not really. I
Yeah.
know it's cold in the room I'm in because they had the window open, and when I was like in the zone, I didn't feel cold anymore.
Yeah. That's awesome. I've noticed that too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like when like we bring our spirit guides in, it gets warmer. And then like every time I dismiss them, I feel like it gets colder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the total
It's the
opposite
opposite
then.
for me. It's the
Really? That's
opposite
so
for me.
funny.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
for me,
definitely
it's
the opposite for me. It's definitely colder when they're with me and warmer once they leave.
Oh, nice. See, and that's a perfect example of how people will get things differently. And
Well,
they're
you know
all right.
what's really weird is like when the veil was coming down, I was having like really extreme hot flashes. I mean, to the point like I thought I was going through menopause type of hot
Yeah.
flashes.
When was that? That was on Halloween.
Yeah, but
Same thing happened to
mine
me.
was like
The same
whole
thing happened to
entire
me because
month.
I'm 42 and I was like, no, I was visibly sweating and then chills like all night long.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
see, that's what
Amy's
was happening to me too.
Amy's been having that too. That's weird.
wow.
Over the
I
last few
see.
days, she's just wanting to sleep naked, she said, because she just can't, like
Oh my
she's
God.
sweating bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, mine started like right at the beginning of October, and that's when I started going through like all those heat waves, and then it would calm down, and then I would go through the heat waves when I would start doing my meditation, then it would cool off. But then like when certain energies are around me, it just like I'm freezing. I can't get warm enough no matter what I do. But
Right.
it's interesting that Hannah, your guide is Aphrodite. Mine is actually Venus.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
is that like
amazing.
the same person but just a different
Yeah,
Yeah,
pantheon, basically?
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah,
I was
like
obsessed with quote unquote Greek. I call it Greek history now because I don't like calling it Greek mythology. I feel like that's disrespectful.
yeah, I've always gravitated towards Venus
My
and
history is
like
not
my
a
great
myth.
spirit stuff. And like my grandmother and then my best friend's grandmother comes to me all the time. So it's
Oh.
like those are my normal guides and stuff, but like I can feel like the difference in temperature. Like when I was actually looking at that candle, I was freezing in here.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
had to
how
get
I
a
know
blanket.
that
I
that's
had
how
to
I
get a
know
blanket during
things
the
are around me.
exercise because I was so cold.
Yeah, definitely. That makes
Like
sense.
to me, that's how I can tell like she's more closer by or more further
Yeah.
away by how cold or warm I am.
Yeah,
And when I call her, I know that it's going to be cold. So I usually have like a fuzzy blanket or something
yeah,
because I know I'm going to get shivery.
right. And especially, I guess that makes sense too. If I was just thinking, if you're working together and they're like blending with your energies or using some of your energy to communicate, then yeah, that would really make sense that that it could be cold. You could be cold for sure.
I definitely think
funny that-
though, I need to have a circle around me though, Danielle, because if I don't, like my cat is like literally coming into the room now and like raring to go. So I know that there's still a lot of presence here for me.
Right.
And so, yeah, I definitely will have to have a circle the next time I do it. Like
Yeah.
A major circle. If I am able to do like candle, or even
Yeah.
if you did like a water scrying the next class, or whatever other scrying there is in this world.
Yeah.
I definitely will have to put a circle around me, because otherwise I'm gonna end up going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You could do that. Have you have you ever just asked the presences to leave, like to get out of your space?
I do. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Just because there's so much. I'm a Cancer. I mean,
Yeah.
they come to me anyways.
I know. I have another friend who's a Cancer, and the same thing happens with him.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be so bad. Like I said, I mean, I'm opening up now more to it and listening
Right.
more. So like, no matter where I'm at, I can hear like people will just start talking to me, like they're sitting right next to me type deal.
Yeah.
But if I'm not careful, it can kind of like make my anxiety flare up.
Yeah. Totally.
But listening to everybody, it's bringing it back down. So just keep on talking.
Okay.
I had like this thing with Egyptian history since I was little, and I think that's where I identify with my god and goddess, because I actually chose Horus and Hathor.
Nice. I love the
And
Egyptian
oh
pantheon.
my gosh, yes. And I just, they're so it's just so amazing, their history, and with the pyramids and everything, and the correlations, and I guess supposedly I heard somebody say that if you meditate at the Sphinx's feet, that's like a ley line right there, but I guess they don't let people do that anymore.
Right? I know. I was just watching a document. I can't believe you just said that. I was just
Yep.
watching a documentary where they were saying something was buried under the foot, like
Mhm.
a UFO or something crazy. I was like, oh my God, I want to go there so bad.
Me
Cool.
too. We'll go. We'll plan a trip.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Khaleesi, is there something that you wanted to share about your experience?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I did. First, I wanted to say y'all should look up some things about the Sphinx. If y'all believe that TV kind of imitates life, and look at the Thundercats and look at everything that goes on in the Thundercats with the Sphinx. It's crazy how
Right.
like thing imitates life, how the art imitates.
Thank you for saying that. I love that kind of stuff.
Me
Are you
too.
talking about the cartoon, the Thundercats?
Yes.
I
Yes,
loved that
I was just
cartoon.
wondering,
That is so
'cause I
weird.
love that cartoon.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh,
a
yes.
cartoon person. Look at it deeper and use your third eye to look at it. With all the things that y'all have learned in like the last past, however, it is going to blow your mind.
I am
Where
so
do
excited.
you find the episodes, on YouTube?
Oh gosh. I have
It's such an old one.
LG. I don't even know what I have. Whatever this smart TV thing is, I have.
You can probably find them on YouTube, Becca.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
That was funny.
I am so gonna do that because I love that Thundercats. Oh,
Oh,
Oh my God, I can't wait. I think my brother and I used to watch that together when we were younger.
That's the
Yeah.
best cartoon ever.
Definitely.
That one and the gargoyles were always my two favorites.
Oh yeah.
Love the gargoyles.
Hannah, I have something to say to you about the Jehovah's Witnesses too, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go on with my story. So as soon as you called forth the spirit guides, I felt all warm and tingly, like it was crazy. It felt like my head was vibrating and tingling, and that was wonderful. Now it took a while for me to get into it, because 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I had an aortic dissection and a stroke. So my heart valve,
oh
it
no.
loud as heck. I mean, boom. It sounds like a metronome. It's very, very, I'm surprised y'all don't hear it now. It's very loud. So
Yeah.
it was hard for me to get into that, because that's going off all times. But after I gazed into the candle and paid attention to the aura, which was gold, I asked what oh gosh, I can't remember dreams anymore. And I think that's hindering me from talking to my spirit guides and being able to, like, you know, do things in my dreams, like go to different level, like planes and things. I can't go, or I can't remember anything since I had the surgery. So I asked to be able to, if I am dreaming, to be able to um keep things in memory. And even if I wake up and I remember something,
Yeah.
I'll want to go to write it down, but by the time I try to go to write it down, like it's gone. And I've had that twice since the surgery, and that the surgery was March of 2021.
Okay.
So that it really sucks. So I asked for that, and to get in touch with my intuition, or to hear it better. But so the majority of my life I've been, I don't want to say psychic, but I can tell when things are going to happen. I'll tell people, yo, you shouldn't do that, and they'll always come to me, yo, you're so right. How did you know that? I don't know. I just know that you should. I don't know if I'm a good therapist, if I just have great common sense. I don't know. But
Never works.
I saw you doing some stuff that you shouldn't have been doing. Don't do that. That's not a good thing. And I mean, everybody always comes back to me and says, you're always right. I don't even know why I bother, whatever. So, um, so when, so asking to get in touch with my intuition, whenever I said a silly thought or a thought that was my own, the candle would crouch low, or the flame would crouch low.
That's amazing.
When it was my intuition talking to me, it was long, straight, elongated. It had a very distinct point at the top. Sometimes it seemed like it danced. I was very careful to not, when I was breathing out through my mouth, to not interrupt the flame, because I wanted to make sure, I was doing it correctly. But it was awesome. Like it was great. And I so appreciate you, ma'am.
That's so amazing. I'm so glad you had a good experience. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Okay, so I did want to do another one, but this ran a little late and I don't have time. I've been packing all day and I have to get up early tomorrow morning to do more. But I do want to give you guys instructions to use it like magic, like manifesting. And then if you want, we can get together. We can find another day. If you guys are interested in doing it together, we can do that. But you're going to do the same thing. So I just got this ready to show you. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can either just have your intention. So let's say, for example, I'm really struggling to, make my business busy enough where that can be my only income, right? So let's say my intention is, I want to attract more paying customers to make sure you're specific, not more customers, more paying customers to my business. Now I can just say that, or if I'm working with any deities or guides or anything like that, I can also ask that guide or that deity to assist me with this. So I like to try to find ways to bring all the elements together, like with spirit, in order to manifest, right? Because in my thinking here is, I have a pentacle drawn on a piece of paper with my intuition and the deity I want to work with, right? So then I am putting the candle right on top of that. And I am going to gaze at this candle. I'll get into exactly how we're going to gaze at it, but I'm going to gaze at the candle. So my intention is going right down through the candle, transmuting into the pentacle where it's going to manifest into reality. Does that make sense?
Like
Yes.
Yeah.
a sigil.
Yes, exactly like a sigil.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. Now, when it comes to how long to gaze, I was doing some research, because I was doing it for 7 minutes before, just because like originally it's like 7 was always like the number you would go to for me anyway. So I did that, but then I started researching and I figured out why it was 7. So the numbers of manifestation are 3 and 4, which together equal 7. So you could do that. Or what I started doing, which I thought was kind of cool, because then I can incorporate both of the numbers of manifestation, without the 7-minute, like I said, I have ADD, so I could break it up. So this is what I do. I write down my intention, like I said, I call in the deity that I want to work with. Or like you said, we could just use the pentacles. If you don't want to use a deity, you're still drawing together all of the elements. Then you're going to set a timer for 3 minutes and gaze at the candle. And for those 3 minutes, you're going to talk about why you want this thing. You're going to talk about what you want. You're going to tell this flame, tell the deity, pour everything out for 3 minutes. You're all focused on what you're bringing, what you're manifesting. And then when that goes off, you're going to set a timer for 4 minutes. And for those 4 minutes, you're going to gaze at the candle and visualize what it would be like once you have that thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have a
Perfect.
related question, kind of.
Yeah.
So the purpose of Pentacles is to draw in all the elements?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. So the pentacle is all the elements and spirit. So we want to bring all of that into our working.
Why is it considered such an evil thing by Christianity, the pentacle?
Well, that's such a long story. So the
They
short
don't
version of
understand
that-
it, that's why.
Yeah, the short version of that is like back in the times when it was just pagans and, the Roman Catholics came along and started killing people for not being Christian or not believing in what they believed. Everything came along with it. So part of what they did was take over all the pagan holidays, try to make the pagan things look evil. It was just all in that same error. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. Alex would know this better. She probably have like all the details, but I think it's something like that. But yeah, they took over. Like, okay, Christmas, for example, was
Right.
a holiday called Saturnalia, a
Mhm.
pagan holiday. And then they made that Jesus's birthday, but Jesus was born in the spring. So it's like all that kind of stuff.
And they actually use a lot of the things themselves, and then they tell us it's evil. That's why they have, I don't want to say so much power, but that's why they have the things that they want, fame, power, those things that we don't really care about.
They rule
have,
based on fear.
they're using all of those things that they tell us is evil, so we won't have the power that they have.
Right. They like to have, like, they're the middleman. We can't go right to the source ourselves. It feels like with them.
Well, like to me, the biggest thing of Christianity that they use for weapons against paganism is ignorance and fear. And I don't mean ignorance like being stupid. I mean ignorance like not without knowledge, ignorance.
Right. Yes.
If that makes sense.
And
There's
it's so
and more
funny.
kind of ignorance.
It's really funny too, because like, their religions, they like focus on damnation but they make it look like we're the evil ones.
Yes. Right. It's crazy that, yeah.
When in reality, sin doesn't really exist. There's only bad and good,
Right.
or good and evil.
It is. Or
Took me a little while to figure that one out.
yeah.
That was kind of an amazing day.
Negative. I don't even really
It was
100%
sin.
believe like anything is all good or anything is all evil. I think everything has a
About
right? Like we need to balance both polarities to become whole.
That's why the yin and yang symbol has a black dot on one side and a white dot on the other side, because there's always a little good and evil, and there's always a little evil in the good.
Yes.
Right. On the dark side, there's that little spot of white, and on the white spot,
Mhm.
there's a little dot of black. It's like that good, evil,
Right. Yep, exactly.
Where are you moving, Danielle?
I'm actually, unfortunately, only moving like down the street. I would love to move somewhere better, but just to a
Oh.
bigger apartment.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, definitely. I am excited. It's much nicer than it is here. We have more space. It's just, it's going to be a stressful couple weeks, but does anybody have any questions with like the manifesting with the candle gazing?
No.
Okay.
Do you burn the candle all the way down until the paper burns?
Nope. You're going to do, the first is going to be 3 minutes to gaze at the candle. And then while you're doing that, you're going to be talking about what your intention is, what you like. I would say, let's say I'm doing the work thing. So for 3 minutes, I would gaze at the candle and be like, I'm working with Hecate or Hecate, whatever. Everybody says her name differently. So let's say I'm working with her, then I'm talking to her and I'm saying, please help me. Not please. They say you shouldn't say please. They say you should be firm. Right. So help me attract paying customers to my business. I want to be able to be successful doing what I love. Help me to do blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense for 3 minutes?
Yeah.
And then for 4, I mean, you could even just keep saying it over and over and over again, the same thing if you wanted. And then after that for 4 minutes, so it'll be 7 minutes altogether, you're going to visualize you already having that thing. So I would imagine like a line of people out the door to my business, or, being booked till the end of the year, or, good reviews or something like that. Make
And then you
sense?
just blow it out at the end.
Yep. And then you just blow it out the end. I always toss the candle after I use it for one thing.
It'd be interesting to wrap the paper around the candle and put it somewhere with a date on it. And then when it comes true, you can burn the rest of the candle. That'd be kind of cool.
Right. It would be cool. You could even bury it too, like give it back to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You could definitely burn your intention as well if you wanted to. Get creative. Like magic is going to be what feels right to you. Like we don't have like this recipe, this one size fits all recipe, right? What works for you? Use your imagination. What makes it magical for you? Like what makes you feel that passion? Like makes it feel like, you're doing all this amazing magic. Like what makes you feel that good? Do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, when I'm at the events and I sell my build your own spell kit, I tell everyone like I'm brand new and I don't really know what I'm doing. So I can't tell you what color candle is going to be good for your spell or what crystals will be good. But if you take your small spell bottle and you focus your intentions on what you're trying to do, you'll naturally pick the things that will help you. And I had like 3 people from Denver already give me feedback like, oh, all the stuff I picked was exactly the right thing when I looked it up.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love that.
So it's like it's a build your own spell kit and a little intuition exercise because I don't know what I'm doing.
I love it. So keep doing, if it's comfortable for you, keep trying this, because what you can do too when you're gazing at the candle is like ask your intuition a question, like, what decision should I make? And then you're just going to gaze at the candle and wait for the answer to come to you in whichever way it does.
And when I go to blow out my candle, I always say, I'm grateful for your presence and your guidance. And I say, blessed be, and then I blow out the candle. So
I love that. Yeah.
just like a
Well, I don't know
little,
if you guys know this, but Mystic and I have been doing like an informal apprenticeship type of thing.
Oh, cool.
Well, basically, I told her I needed a counselor. I was like, I need a counselor. And she's like, well, I'll just be like a mentor type thing. And she didn't have a formal apprenticeship yet. And one thing she always does is like we video chat once a week for like an hour or 2 hours, just depending on our schedules.
Yeah.
And she always lights blue candles in her space. And so now I've started doing that in my space. And it just seems like it works so well because blue is for communication.
Yeah.
And she's, anytime that she is at home and anytime that she is crafting, she has either a candle or incense burning. Like you don't have to go through any type of a ceremony, but the light of the candle draws in your guides immediately. Yep. They're used to you using the candle to get their attention.
Right. Especially if that's your intention. Every time I light this candle,
you guys are going to come help me do whatever work I'm doing, whatever practices I'm doing in my office, just like that.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's awesome.
I use lilac candles just because it was something that my grandmother loved lilacs. And so for me to get that closest between that and like different types of dragon sage and Palo Santos and stuff, when I use them for my meditation stuff, that's all stuff that I use. But using the pentacle, I mean, obviously for me, I've been doing the sigil work with Shantat, and I understand completely the gazing process and stuff. Besides doing the candle work, I mean, obviously the candles, you call it glazing, but is it basically a form of scrying?
Yes.
So candle gazing is like more of the meditation, right? Where scrying becomes more of the divination.
Okay. So the longer we do, like actually looking at the candle and actually observing everything going on, that would be considered what scrying would be.
Well, if you're trying to, so that's a good question. How do we do that? So scrying is a form of divination. So if you're trying to get information about like what to do, then that might be considered scrying. See, but then you can get the same thing. So scrying might also be when you're seeing the images, like I'll have to look up the difference from what they are, but I do feel like they're very closely connected. It's just like they're almost the same thing. It's just one is, quieting your body and one is getting the information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because see, like for me, I didn't see any like the images like everybody else was seeing. I was just feeling that intensity.
It's probably tough for you to see that when you were feeling that. Like when you start to get uncomfortable, you're going to shut off, like not on purpose, but it might just shut off some of your other senses.
Well, I
Like
thought
if you're
that
not in
was
a
the
relaxed
case
state.
too, but I mean, it was just like it was engulfing me more into the flame when it was happening. So it wasn't like it was shutting itself down. It was just like my spirit was like literally coming out of me.
Right, right. Huh. I wonder if you tried it. Do you have any control over, or are you working on that? Like when you feel your spirit kind of start to come out of you, can you pull it back in?
Oh
Like,
yeah, most definitely.
yeah, okay.
I do it all day, all day long
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
Because like when I'll send my spirit to like make sure my daughter's all right in North Carolina, and I'll send it to go other places to other people that I know are struggling. I'll
Yeah.
send it there, and then if I have to stay with them all day, I'll stay with them all day, and I can still be functioning at work.
That's so cool.
But here right now, it's just like I could feel. I usually send her. I don't usually just let her go on her own.
Right.
And this was like literally taking me out on my own.
I wonder why. I'm so curious, like what that was like touching or bringing up that caused your spirit to even want to start to come out of your body. Or oh, wait a second, do you light candles when you're like projecting? Like is that part of a practice that you do?
No, because I can be anywhere in
Just do it anyway.
projector. Yeah, no, the only thing I can think of in all honesty is because I'm that water sign, I want to put that flame out. I mean, because like at night and stuff, I'll actually fall asleep with the candles going in my room.
Yeah.
But I also, before I go to bed, say, okay, hey, watch over me.
Right.
Deal. This was something totally different. And I don't know. It's like right now I'm burning the hell up. And I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know why.
really interesting. Huh. If you asked your spirit guides why that happened, do you think you'd be able to get a response or even just writing about it maybe?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll just have to sit down tonight and put myself in a circle.
Yeah.
Because like I said, normally I've been doing the circle work since I've been starting the sigil, just because I had noticed when I was doing the sigil work that my spirit was like wanting to escape, I guess, but not really escape. And it has a lot to do with the intentions I have with that sigil of which, level it is. Because like certain ones, I was getting sick as a dog off of, when I did them.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad. And we were trying to figure out exactly how to handle it. And that's when they started telling me to cast a circle around me. And that's how I do the 4 elements as well.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, definitely. And we just find what works, I'm glad that they helped you figure that out.
Yeah, most definitely. I am too, because it's made it easier for my sigil work now.
So then when you cast the circle and then you do the work, you don't feel any of that pull or anything.
I don't feel any of the pull at all.
Wow. So yeah, it must have been using your energy, right? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I mean, the sigils class is where I actually had performed magic for the first time. And I just thought I was going to go to hell or all the gates were going to open up completely.
Right.
Every time I do something, I realize it's real magic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the angel's going to come drag me to hell?
Yeah. I actually remember when you were talking about that, Jackie.
Yeah. I mean, it was a scary feeling for me because I had grew up in the church. So, I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought, the gates of hell were going to open up and I was going to fall right in.
Yeah.
But
it's so scary and it's so hard to talk about because you're afraid that you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, why are you like this?
Right.
Oh, I thought for the longest time I was 3 shades crazy. People, when I talk about it to certain people, they look at me kind of weird, but then there's people that just like, it engulfs them to listen to me about it because they are experiencing the things that I'm experiencing and just don't understand it completely.
Right.
You know, and so it helps me to, as I call it, shine my light. You know, I'm able to help others to see maybe something that they're not seeing within themselves that they want to see within themselves. And so it helps me to continue to grow as I do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm actually going to stop the recording quick.
Danielle, so a question for you. Somebody once told me that my light was really bright and I could shine it wherever I wanted to with for whoever I wanted